and greetings from Chicagoland. I'm Munira Zahabi, the Niche Navigator, and welcome to Munira's Musings. I'm your host, podcaster, author, coach, and international speaker. Each week, I bring you insightful conversations with extraordinary individuals who share their unique perspectives and stories. Join me on this captivating journey as we explore new ideas and inspirations. Now, let's dive into today's episode with our special guest.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. How are you all today? Thank you so much for joining us. We are live with a guest, Andre Lasitter, all the way from South Carolina in Raleigh, South Carolina. Hi, Andre. How are you?
Hi, Munira. I'm doing great. Hopefully you are as well.
Yes, all is well. Thank you. Winter is coming. Fall is setting in. Life is good this way. But we all start this, for the listeners, we all start this show because we want you to know that there is a life within entrepreneurship, and what it is that you do and how you do it is also a way to take your business to the next level. Our expert today is talking about AI and automation. I'm very curious about that. So all of those who are struggling with automation and what AI is, let's go ahead and dive in and talk to Andre about what this all means to us. Andre, welcome to Munira's Musings. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. So a little bit about me is I, with MS3IT, ms3it.com, and we specialize in lots of AI and automation as well as traditional managed services provider solutions, such as, dropping fiber or building out your servers or, networking and that sort of thing. But where we truly shine is lots of AI and automation when it comes to, getting new clients or following up with your existing clients. Lots of cool new things out there. I know you guys have probably seen the chat bots and, all the features that you can do, but voice AI is something that we've invested heavily in, and it has conversations, and it does client intake, all sorts of fun things. In addition to that, we've got some cool large scale projects that we're working on as well. But we can go definitely more into detail about those things. Whatever you have questions about, Munira, I'm open for it.
You said that you do servers and stuff. So did you start out as an IT tech?
I did. So I've been in the IT industry since about 2004. So wow, 20 years now, right? I'm dating myself, but it's started out from the bottom, being help desk support, and working, all the way up from help desk support to desktop support, systems administration, networking, servers, all that good stuff. And then got into cybersecurity, worked my way up there and was managing the PCI division of cybersecurity for larger cable company in the United States, making sure that, the payment gateways are secure and governance and all that good stuff to ensure the safety and ensure that, hackers weren't getting in and stealing valuable information. And then I moved on from there and became a full-time entrepreneur. My wife and I, we actually had a U-Break iFix store here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Wake Forest, North Carolina. And we ran that successfully since about 2017, and we sold last year. But concurrently, we had the managed service provider business, MS3IT. And then with the explosion of generative AI, I said, hey, there's, truly an opportunity there. We started actually using the generative AI as well as the capabilities, of our CRM to enhance what the franchise U-Break iFix gave to us. So we're able to automatically market, automatically, do client intake, lots of automations there, right? And then started to use AI to enhance that and just make it go on autopilot and rock it. And we really did see some drastic improvements there. Having to utilize, staff less for menial tasks, right, and repetitive tasks, and we were able to get them into a revenue producing mode, right? So, we could bring in more money because we had the people to fulfill it, not necessarily having to hire new people, but able to reskill them into, being those technicians because they didn't have to worry about picking up the phone 24/7 or replying back to, all sorts of inquiries. The automations and the AI were just handling that for us.
So our regular, our readers, our viewers, our listeners here are always the people who are going to be entrepreneurs, right? Mm-hmm. You are talking big stuff, like you're talking multi-million-dollar company stuff, right? So when you say, so in the normal world, for AI. I mean, normal people will use ChatGPT and things like that. And every software out there is now including AI into their corporations, into their mix of offerings that they're giving. And
Indeed.
you have chatbots and you have note taker AI, and you name it, it's out there. So for a solopreneur, how does this help, and how do you help these people?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad that you asked, because that's a soft spot for me, right? As a solopreneur, I've been there, and we have programs for solopreneurs. So at MS3IT, part of what we do is, like you just said, you've got so many programs and it's all fragmented, right? So you have to use this program and that program, and this doesn't talk to that, this doesn't talk to that. What we do is combine all that, even for solopreneurs, right? We can start with, something that's comfortable for your budget, and we can develop let's say a chatbot, right, that does intake for your clients or answers questions about your business on your website, or even through text message or whatever the case may be, Facebook, Instagram. You can automate that, to answer questions, and all that data goes into your CRM, which, we can do for something that's reasonable, right, for solopreneurs. But then you have a one-stop shop. We have a mobile app as well that you would get with that, right? So you can run your business from your phone, right? So the AI or the automations are taken care of, because we do work with several solopreneurs, from small businesses that are one location to nail salons to eyebrows to barbers. We've got them all, right, across the board. It's not just huge clients or huge businesses. We like to work with everyone. So we can mix and match and find bits and pieces that work for you. But our main goal is to make tech your friend and to be your trusted advisor when it comes to tech, because what I don't want to do is hinder somebody from growing. Right. So what we like to do is say, hey, okay, what do you most need? Oh, you need a booking bot. Great. Okay. So you're primarily appointment driven. What we can do is have it talk to your people on social media, as long as you have a business page on social media, or either we can get you another number through our system. It's very inexpensive. And then it can have conversations with your potential prospects, qualify them, ask them questions, and then book them on your calendar. And you're going about your day and you just see your calendar fill up. I've seen quite a few of our clients, when the light bulb goes off and it's like, okay, you're talking tech. Yes, we do talk tech, but we talk business, because, I'm a business owner. I understand, the needs for business. You need clients, right? Like you need to get that revenue coming in. And how can you do that when you're stuck trying to, maintain every phase of the business? Now, you have affordable ways to remove yourself from those mundane tasks that are sucking up your time, and you can focus on what's truly making your business, whether it be creative, whether it be, like yourself, right? You've got this beautiful podcast, and, you don't have time to necessarily go back and forth with people. But if you have your like I like to call it your AI army, or your AI assistants is what we technically call it, doing that work for you, you can concentrate on the important stuff and get going.
I like that very much. Thank you so much for sharing. So you said you use one of the examples you gave is you primarily used for booking. So people with nail and hair salons are also using this. What about a coach? How do you help them?
Oh, for sure. We have coaches on our platform as well, big and small, right? So I'll start out with like you said, normal everyday people that are coaches. It may not be your full-time job. It may be your full-time job. But the way we help coaches is we're able to, let's say, take a look at your site and your presence, and just with my daughter came in and she's wanted to talk to me for just a sec. But yeah, it's as far as coaches, we're able to do things like you said, like the booking bot, right? And we have several automations that we can do to assist coaches, not only just recreating the website or helping with pointers, but we can also, assist them with getting new clients, right? With running the ads. And when you run the ads, you do get several responses. So imagine having an AI that qualifies those responses or points them and directs them, or, we'll do some keyword marketing, right? So let's take, for instance, Facebook, some of the things that we've set up. With Facebook, you can ask someone to comment on your post, right? So when someone comments on your post, we can automatically set up a workflow that it likes it, then comments and says, hey, check your DMs, right? And when you check your DMs, we've sent you a direct message already, and the AI chatbot engages and it says, hey, hey, Munira, I just wanted to find out a little bit more about your business. I'm glad you're interested in the product. And it has a back and forth conversation with the goal in mind of saying, let's book you for a call, or let's get you this product, because I think this will be a good fit for you. Those are some of the little things that we're able to do to skyrocket people's businesses. I'll tell you a story about one client we're currently doing that with. She's, I won't mention names, but she's a pretty well-known coach in the industry. And, she has a team, which everyone thinks that she had to have a team, but she's able to reskill her team now, like we talked about, right? Because now when all of those inquiries are coming in, she's spending a lot of money on ads, but the AI is able to respond to it. And next, we're about to integrate voice AI so that it calls the people as well, right? So let's say someone wasn't able to, didn't finish the conversation, but, we got their contact information. Maybe, their kid came in, right? Or maybe they had to drop off because they're at work, or whatever the case may be. We can do cool things on the advanced end, like say, hey, when would be a good time to give you a call? They say, oh, maybe 5 o'clock. Okay, great. 5 o'clock, the phone rings. We have the rest of the conversation to get you booked. So those are cool things that weren't necessarily possible, or you had to have tons of money to do, because you had to hire a staff of 50, 100 people to manage all this good stuff, or even 10 to 15. Like, I mean, most of us can't even hire one person, let alone 10 to 15, 100 people. So now you can leverage that tech to be your army, to be your sales team, or at least the entry part of it, right? To be your reception area.
So how important is it to have AI in your business nowadays?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I really say that those that aren't using it, unfortunately, not in all cases, but in lots of cases, are going to go by the wayside, because if you're not using it wisely, there's a thing, right? AI is a tool. It's not the easy button that it's marketed to be in all situations, right? Because you have to know how to use the tool. If I showed up to your house, to fix your, let's see, your HVAC unit, right? You got heating and cooling issues, or it's hot outside, your AC is not working. If I showed up with a water gun, what am I going to do with that, right? I don't have the right tools to fix the problem. And that's the way a lot of people are approaching AI these days. They're, either not bringing the right tool or utilizing the tool incorrectly. Like you said, everyone's familiar with ChatGPT. Everybody knows that. That's the explosion of generative AI. But what's the next step, right? Are you going to sit in front of the computer? And it's great for coming up with some emails and that sort of thing, some copy, no issues there. But what we help our larger clients with is making sure that it's speaking your brand voice, right? So you want to be consistent across all your platforms when you get to be a little larger. Even if you're just starting out, it's a great thing to be consistent in your messaging, your wording. We have AI that takes care of that for our larger clients. But for smaller clients, I would say, you definitely have to use it. You can start out using ChatGPT to come up with some responses, but as you start to grow and get traction, you'll want to automate. And that's how you use AI to its fullest potential, is to just automate many things that you're doing. My business coach, Erica Simpson, she actually says if you have to do it 3 times, you need to automate it or delegate it and figure out how to, do such, right? Because if not, you're stuck doing repetitive tasks that aren't necessarily driving the bottom line of your business or helping your business grow. And that is something that even larger companies struggle with. But as a smaller company, you tend to think you don't have the resources to automate or delegate, but now it's affordable. And now, we've got solutions that you can definitely do that.
So you've talked about automation and you talked about Facebook. What about LinkedIn?
For sure, for sure. There are LinkedIn automations as well. So we're think of us like a custom home builder, right? Like if you go to, let's say certain neighborhoods, you take what's there, right? You've got this floor plan, you've got that floor plan. Like I'm in that range. I'm not in the custom build range yet, but we're an affordable custom builder. So if you want, this type of floor, this type of wall, this type of ceiling, this type of roof shingle, this type of landscaping, we can do that for you, right? So we're not just a one size fits all. Like ChatGPT, the platform's the platform. We have our client's best interest at heart. So we're going to say, okay, let us get you, here's your budget. All right, let's work within that budget to get you the best thing possible, the best bang for your buck. And I'm sorry that didn't answer your question. Feel free to ask me.
No, I mean, I was just asking. I mean, you're saying you're a custom. You can customize your services to whatever I need. So does LinkedIn allow that too?
Yes. So with LinkedIn, it's a little bit different of an animal. You can definitely, create some automations there, and they do have, their own AI as well that you can utilize to, have conversations and reach out to multiple people. But you have to be mindful of your strategy when you're working with LinkedIn. Facebook and Instagram are a little bit more lenient, but LinkedIn is geared toward professionals, so they tend to not be as spammy. And with that, I'm sorry.
You mentioned replies. You said your system replies to everybody posts on Facebook. And then your system is a chatbot that just goes and sees, okay, this one replied, let me go answer. How important is that in our business today?
Yeah, I'd say very important, Munira. It's extremely important because everyone wants instant gratification nowadays. If you have to wait for hours upon hours, or days for a reply, then typically someone else is going to get the business. One example that I like to give is for HVAC technicians, because we work with a lot of HVAC companies. So this is actually something that happened to me. So our AC unit went out at our house, and I had to get it fixed because I've got two small kids. So, it's the middle of summer. It's really hot. I can't go without. So I started going down Google, right? And said, all right, let me call this company, call this company, call this company. It's after hours, so they're not answering, right? But I finally got someone that answered, and they had decent reviews. So they got the business because I needed that instant gratification. But now with AI and automation, you're able to instantly ask for reviews for like what we do is we have it so that it automatically, prompts them for a review for their service. So that's increasing your reviews and increasing your SEO rankings and all that good stuff. But not only that, let's say if it's after hours and we provide you with a new number that you can give out to your clients. If I call you, it doesn't matter what time it is, your AI virtual assistant will text you back. If you don't have our voice AI service, it can text you back, have a full conversation, and book you on the calendar so you don't lose that business. So imagine, if I called about having my HVAC unit broken and you didn't answer the phone, the next thing I'm going to do is call the next person on Google. But before I can get there, I got a text on my phone that says, hey, sorry, we missed your call. Can we help you with, what can we help you with? And then it says, you just have a conversation through text that says, hey, my HVAC unit's down. Okay, great. Let us get you some help. We can get someone out as soon as tomorrow morning. What's your name, your number, your address, all that goes into the CRM. And, we've got some workflows and automations to dispatch people out. And your team was in bed, you were in bed resting, and the client still got help. That's the type of thing that we're able to do for smaller companies.
So just out of curiosity, when you went down Google and called all the companies, did you call them back and say, I can automate the system for you?
Yeah, so I actually did, which is funny, right? I'm glad you thought about that. Yeah, no, I did. And, sometimes it's tough to get to the person that can make those decisions, right? But, there were 2 to 3 that were responsive, and one actually ended up being the client, right? One ended up coming on board because they saw the value. They said, yeah, we need this. And it's tough to explain. And that's the reason I don't like to necessarily talk tech and jargon and all those terms. We like to make it plain and give those plain examples because, if I told you hey, yeah, I can get you missed call text back. Munira, you won't necessarily know what that means unless you're in that world. But hey, when I
So
explain
everybody
like that,
is incorporating this, right? Why would they choose you? Like you talked about CRMs, right? CRMs are now doing the same thing. It automates, it sends you stuff. My problem, and I'm going to say it because I have my podcast airs every Tuesday. My guest shows up, they don't even send me stuff. And even
For
though
sure.
I've automated and asked them several times to send me stuff, I literally have to pull teeth with them. So how then do you ask the person on the opposite side to comply to your requests?
For sure, for sure. So there's several ways that you can do that. You can automate it in a human-like fashion where you're not necessarily just emailing. So you can be multimodal, right? You can send emails, you can text message, which, part of that is verifying you've got the number. So we've got verification systems that can say, okay, let's verify you, this, that, the third, make sure you got the right number. So now you're automatically following up because, I'm sure you get tons of email every day and some of it goes to spam. But if you get a text on your phone, odds are, text messages have a 98% open rate, right? And it's like, oh, shoot, I forgot. But when you get that text from Munira that says, hey, Andre, just wanted to check in. I haven't received your bio yet, right? I haven't received your whatever you're missing yet. That's when you take a look and say, oh, shoot, I've got to get it to her. Let me do that, or let me have somebody do that, or let me put that on the to-do list tonight, right? To get that to you.
I use AI a lot, and it's incorporated in most of the softwares that I use. One of the things that I have a problem with is that compliance, right, from the person. You can send them a text, and they've received it. They've received it because the system works. All of this is incorporated into the CRMs. What CRMs do you use, or do you advise others to use?
For sure. So we've used several. So Go High Level is, our primary because it's cost effective, right? But for our larger clients, we tend to use, things like Salesforce. And Go High Level is coming up and it is getting there. But being a tech guy, for enterprise, it can work depending upon the use case and depending upon your needs. But there's specific niche CRMs out there, but we're building lots and lots in Go High Level. And Salesforce. Salesforce is a bit more costly when you when you start to add on things, and you can. I've seen companies spend $100,000 for things that you can do for a tenth of the cost in that level, right? So,
what is one thing that I should have asked that I haven't asked?
Oh, great question. Let's see. I think it would be about governance and privacy. We're using these tools, but do we know where our data is going? And do we know how our data is being used by these large language models? And that is something that as of yesterday, California came out with 18 new laws about AI. And they got struck down. Well, I shouldn't say struck down, but they vetoed another bill that was more stringent. And I'm sure they have their reasons why, right? You've got a lot of big tech and AI companies in California, so you got to balance that act. But as overall, we use, like I said, yes, if your budget says ChatGPT or Claude or whatever the case may be, yes, you use that, and we use that, right? But you have to be mindful that the data that you're inputting into these large language models is public information now. But if you need some siloed or HIPAA compliance or whatever the case may be, we have other language models that are closed off. They're private, they're privately hosted, like for our healthcare clients, right? HIPAA says I can't give patient information to ChatGPT, so we have to pass that in a secure manner. We have to have that in a secure state, but no one's thinking, just like posting our information on Facebook. That's a big cause of mine, being insecurity, right? We put our children on the internet. We put, and this is probably a hot button topic, not to veer too far off the subject, but the whole, let's see, I'll reel it back in. The whole, AI, generative AI, the use of that in inappropriate ways, we have to be extremely vigilant, because you can take someone's child's photo And there are plenty of perverse people in this world that have sick minds, and they hide behind computer screens and, you know, in dark rooms, and they're making all sorts of crazy content. So I say this to say, be mindful of what you put out there. Yeah, general marketing things, not an issue, but be careful about your personal information that you're feeding the language models, because, you know, it's out there now. Be careful about, you know, we're all going to put our photos on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the case may be. We're adults, but be careful about how much information you put about your children. Be careful about how much information you put about, you know, the elderly that can't necessarily defend themselves, because now, you know, we can scrape that data, right? If I've got tons of information about your family on Facebook, now I've got your parents' contact information. You can easily make a voice AI that calls them and says, hey, Munira's, you know, had an emergency. You know, she's been arrested for something crazy, and it's a believable voice. Yeah, could you know, she just needs XYZ, blah, blah, blah. They got it set for $1,500 or $500. And, you know, the elderly, it's emotion. They just panic, right? Even us, right? You can just panic. And that's what scares me about, you know, all of these things, because I say, which one way can be two ways? And I really, and that's where the laws are aiming to govern, right? Because those bad actors, I detest it. And I don't want to see them, you know, prevail. So being careful and mindful of what you put out there on the internet, because it is public knowledge at that point, and you do lose control of what it is that you do. So take that, you know, for what it's worth. All the TikTok generation, all the, you know, the cool dances and all that, and the cool pictures of the babies and kids. Please keep them innocent, and please keep them out of harm's way.
Well, I love that subject. Maybe we should have you back on here and talk about cybersecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard him. He's talked about several different things: automating your business, how to make sure that AI works for you, and so that you can have more time, more clients, and have more leads. That's number one. But number two is also be very careful about what you put out there. Lots of people, I've seen true cases where people say that they're going on vacation, and then they come back and the house is empty because they haven't got it. Or squatters show up and stay there. So that happens. So, you know, there are people out there just checking you out, but how do you keep yourself safe? This is a very important and very great topic. Thank you, Andre. And everybody, those who have been here with us, I appreciate you. And if you like, you would please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. That would be awesome. Until we see you next week, have a good week. We'll be back with a new guest, with a new topic, and a new perspective on everything that we do in entrepreneurship. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Niche Navigator. We hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Your support really helps us keep bringing you amazing content. For more updates and behind-the-scenes glimpses, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all our other social platforms. The links are in the description below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and connect with you there. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next week.